Section 1.6, problem solving with whole numbers. So we're going to solve problems using basic strategy for solving word problems, solve word problems involving consumer applications, geometric applications, and by finding averages. Okay, we'll kind of see what we can kind of get to here. Let's look at the first one. Basic strategy for solving word problems. I do not want this to be the roadblock to math. I'm going to help you a lot with word problems. We're not going to just be solely focused on them all the time. I want you to learn formulaic. I want you to learn rote knowledge. But life is word problems, okay? So let's just kind of be very careful about these and just be very intentional how we do them. Okay, here. Let's get out the highlighter here. Okay, we're going to read. Read the problem carefully. Try to decipher it, okay? Set up. Draw any type of figure or diagram that might be helpful and decide what operations are needed. Okay, operations. Okay, are we going to add, subtract, multiply, divide, dealing with fractions? What are we doing? Then we're going to solve. Perform the operations to solve the problem, and then we're going to check. So having said that, let's go to our first problem here. Okay, example, application. We're going to be adding whole numbers, okay? So it's telling us, it's going to give us the operation, but I want to show you how it works, okay? Mary Ann is finalizing her spring break plans, okay? First, she plans to visit her grandma, who lives 288 miles away. Then she plans to drive another 145 miles to the beach and spend a couple of days with her boyfriend before driving 203 miles per hour home. How many total miles will Mary Ann drive on her spring break trip? Solution. Okay, we're going to read the problem carefully and look for keywords. Total indicates addition, okay? How many total miles? Okay, there's our little keyword. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these mileages, let me kind of go to a different color here, and we're going to add them up. So we're going to take all of these guys here and add them up. So how does that look? So what did it say? Let's see here. It says she's going to start at here. Okay, so here she is. She's at home. Okay, and then she's going to drive so far, and it says where'd she go? She goes to her grandma's house first. Well, she gets to here, and how far is that? Well, at grandma's, from her home to grandma's house, okay, it was 288 miles. Okay, then she plans to drive to the beach. Okay, well, here we are here. Beach. How far was that? Well, it's going to be 145 miles. And then she's going to go back home. Okay, so here, now she's going to go back and she's finally back home again. And from the beach to her home, it was only 203 miles. And so what we're looking for is how far is all of this right here. And so what we'll do is we'll come in here and we'll just add everything up. We're going to take the 288. Okay, we're going to take the 145, and then we're going to take the 203, and we're going to add all these up. Well, 5 and 3 is 8, 8 and 8 is 16. Okay, we'll do that. We'll carry the 1. 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Come over here, carry the 1 again. We've got 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. And so there we go. Her total miles that she drove was 636 miles. And something I will start harping on in classes, make sure to put the units, because 636 is just a number, but we need to know how far she actually went. Okay, let's go to the next problem here. Example 2, application, multiplying. Okay, so on this one, we're going to be multiplying whole numbers. Okay, the owner of a semi-pro baseball team orders baseballs from the manufacturer at the beginning of the season. Okay, we can kind of picture that in our head. The team is scheduled to play 32 games, and they anticipate using 8 new baseball each game. How many baseballs should the owner buy? Okay, read the problem carefully. The order for the entire season should be found by multiplication. Okay, so it's telling us this. Well, let's think of it this way. I'm not going to draw every single one of these, but let's think about every single game. So we've got game 1 here. Here we go. Game 1. Okay, and in this game, okay, here's all the games. He's going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 baseballs. Okay, well then we can come over here. We're going to have to add. Now we're going to have to look at game 2. Well, he's going to use 8 baseballs again. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, notice this is good. We could keep doing this. We can go 8 plus 8 plus 8. Well, what are we doing here? we're doing 8 plus 8 plus 8. Well, that's just a whole lot of addition. Well, we want to do addition fast. So how do we do addition fast? We do it by multiplication, which means we can come in here and just go, well, if he has 32 games and we need 8 balls per game, let's just do the multiplication for that. Okay, so 8 times 2 is going to be 16. Okay, 3 times 8 is going to be 24. Add 1, okay, and that gives us 256. So for him, he's going to need 256 baseballs, okay, for the entire season. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start trying to find the average of a set of numbers, okay? To find the average, okay, what we're going to do is find the sum of the given set of numbers, okay? It's going to give us a whole bunch of numbers, okay? And then we're going to divide all those numbers, okay, in the given set by the number of numbers it gave us, okay? And you'll kind of see this shortly. Okay, the quotient is called the average of the set of given numbers. So let's take a look at one. Okay, we have Top Notch Sporting Goods recorded its profits for tennis rackets for 6 months. The following bar graph indicates the profits for each of the months from January to June. Okay, so look, we got January, we got an amount here, February, and what's good about bar graph, you kind of see everything as a picture real quick. You can kind of see that February, look, they did really, really well in February. Why is that? Maybe there's some sort of causation there. Did really horrible in, not horrible, it was still good money, but they did not as good in April and in January. So this bar graph will answer a lot of questions for us. Let's come over here. Okay, what month had the highest profits? Well, we can look back over here. Which bar is at the highest? Well, that would be right here. Notice it's 7,590. That corresponds to February. So we can come over here and put February. Okay. Well, what month had the lowest profits? Okay. Well, looking back over here at our graph, well, let's look and notice that the lowest point in our bar graph is going to be right here, and that happened in April. Okay, there we go. Now, what is the average monthly salary over 6 months? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take each one of them, saying average monthly profit. So notice, what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and take each one of these numbers here, every single one of them, and we're going to add it all up. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, coming in here very carefully, I'm going to write down each one of the numbers here, which we get 5,380. 7,590, 6,410, 4,530, 5,840, and try to write your numbers good. I did not do a very good lining these up, but make sure you line up as good as you can. 6,250, and then we're going to add everything up. Okay, so notice this first line is just 0. This next line here, well, let's kind of come here very carefully. We've got 9 to 8 is 17. Okay, that's going to be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and that's going to be 30. Coming here on the next line, being very careful, it's a lot of numbers. You can also use a calculator, okay, but 8 and 2 is 10. That's going to be 15, 19, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There's another 30, okay? Coming up here, final row. Okay, we got, being very careful, 6 and 5 is 11, plus 4, okay, it's going to be 15. Then we got 21, 28, 33, and then finally we're going to have 36. So, over 6 months, they made $36,000 in profit. So that's where we added up everything, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take that salary, we're going to take this $36,000. Well, how many points were on this thing? Well, let's look over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to divide everything here, okay, by 6. Okay, when we do that, okay, we can come in here and do this the long division way. We come in here and go, okay, well, what is this? This is going to be 36,000. Well, 6 will go into 36,000. 6 will go into 36 6 times. And then I get this 36 by 0, and then notice after that, since I'm going to have zeros the rest of the way down, I can just come in here and just put zeros everywhere else. So the average, I'll put this in blue, the average monthly profit over 6 months is going to be $6,000. Okay, so if you took all the everything, all the salaries, that would be the average. You can kind of think of averages like your grades. You know, you have good grades, you have bad grades, but when you average them all up together, that's the main grade. Same thing we do in this class, more or less.